Coffee this morning is Donut Store Blend. I got this at Aldi's, and it's not my favorite. I just have a few left, so I want to use this up. So I haven't been using my Fill It Up K-Cups that much, but so that's what I'm having for coffee this morning. So good morning, everybody. This is breakfast day 14, so I'll be back in a little bit. And we will see what I come up with for breakfast. So I wanted to talk just briefly. Today is Tea Tuesday. Happy Tea Tuesday, everybody, but I'm going to have coffee. I wanted to talk a little bit about making do. Now, I have these white countertops. I've had them since I built this house almost 20 years ago. That's my coffee is done. And these are in excellent shape. They don't have stains, they don't have chips, so I'm not going to replace them, but I love the look of wood countertops. So I'm making do. I have all these cutting boards that I've had for years. So this one over here, I'm just putting over the sink. You know how the new sinks now, they have all those sliding cutting boards and things that you can, well, I'm not getting a new sink because this sink is in beautiful condition. This is the second sink. The original one was a stainless steel, a very shallow sink. So I love this sink. It's easy to clean. It's a composite material. And then I've had this for years too. It's a dish drainer. And it also has a cutting board that you can put on top of it, but it's not wood. But I just leave this here for draining my dishes. Then I had this board that I bought from IKEA, and it was only $20. I got that, 2 or 3 years ago, and that stays there all the time. And I have this nice bamboo cutting board that also has these little plastic, I can't get it out right now, these little plastic cutting boards to protect the board. So I keep that out. And then this one I can put on top of my stove if I need more counter space. I have a fairly good sized kitchen, but I don't have a lot of counter space. So over here, I bought this cart years ago, and I store some of my things in there. I store my knives in here. Yes, I have a lot of knives. And then I added this butcher block cutting board to the top. I glued it on there because it was just a little bamboo thing. And then Tom, for me, added these other cutting boards, and those go up and down. So I have a lot of wood cutting boards in my kitchen, and that satisfies me for now. And maybe one day I will get a wooden countertop. All right, so I'm having the decaf Donut Store coffee, my usual creamer, and let's have a little chat about YouTube, my experience with it, and also what I'm going to be cooking up today for day 14, breakfast and dinner. Breakfast, day 14. Let's see what we can find back in the fridge. Okay, let's see. Nothing up there. All right. Today I will be making the creamed spinach. This is for dinner. I'll have that with these chicken tenders I made the other day. So I will be making that for dinner. But let's see what we have for breakfast. There's some bread. I need to use this up. And that was $1 loaf from Walmart, and it's got the everything on it. So I'll be using that. And more cheese, gotta use it up. I'm going to make a toasted cheese sandwich for breakfast this morning. That's what I'm going to have. So we'll have that for breakfast. And then I want to see what else I have. Let's see, I still have green beans, and I have these avocados that I bought a whole bag of, so I got to start eating those up. Got some carrots, and I have some more avocados here. So I'm going to take I keep my avocados in the fridge, so I'm going to take one of those out for tomorrow or the next day. And then down here, I have a lot of celery and peppers, more carrots, and I think I still have apple. So I'm going to have an apple with my toasted cheese. So that's going to be breakfast today, day 14. And over here, I still have 2 tomatoes that I need to eat. So those I'll eat tomorrow maybe. I'm going to put the avocado with that. Have the apple. I still have some bananas that are getting pretty ripe. So I think maybe later I will make another smoothie. So that will be breakfast day 14. All right, so when I buy bread, a lot of times I'll buy a whole loaf unsliced because it stays fresh longer that way rather than, and I know you're not supposed to keep your bread in the refrigerator, but I do because it goes moldy so fast. I'd rather have dry bread than moldy bread. So I'm just going to cut myself, and the nice thing about this is you can cut your slices as thick or as thin as you want. So I don't like it too thick, so I'm just going to cut myself a couple of slices, and I'm going to try and make this in my little mini griddle. So let me set this up a little. I mean, I'm sure you all know how to make toasted cheese sandwiches. The way I like to make them is I like to butter the outside, and I'm just using some Earth Balance that I have in the fridge. Now things like butter and eggs, I will be replenishing as I go along. So I don't know, this is some sort of, I think it's Gouda cheese. I think this cheese pack came from Costco, and it had cheddar and Swiss, like a baby Swiss, and Gouda, and I forget what the other one was. But anyway, it's really good cheese, and it wasn't that expensive to buy the pack. I bought that for Christmas Eve, and everybody had cheese and crackers, and it was really good. So now I want to use it up. So that's why I'm having so many cheese recipes. Now normally I make this in a frying pan, but I just butter the outside, and but this time I'm going to try and make it in the mini griddle, but I'm not sure if it'll fit. I may have to cram it in there. So let me get this buttered and in the griddle. Okay, I sort of got it in there. Now they do make a sandwich maker, but the sandwich maker sort of compresses it. I got my little grandkids. Okay, now I can talk about this because I couldn't talk about it before Christmas because my one grandson will watch my videos. But I got my grandkids for Christmas like 5 of these little appliances. I got them the griddle, I got them the grill, the waffle maker, the pie maker, the bundt cake maker, and I got them a sandwich maker because they all kind of like to cook, but they're still fairly young. I mean, my oldest grandson is 18, and his brothers are 13 and 11 and 9, and then I have a 7-year-old granddaughter. So anyway, I got all of them a little griddle, and I got it as interchangeable. It was like a group gift. And then I went to Dollar Tree and Walmart and got a lot of different mixes and things that they can do themselves, and then they can cook on the little mini griddles. Now these do get hot. They do need adult supervision, but they're, you know, they really like the gifts, so we'll see. But anyway, I want to see how this works, making a toasted cheese sandwich. So I'll be back when it's done. And if it doesn't work, I'll throw it in the frying pan. All right, let's take a peek. It's only been in here a couple minutes. Ooh, and it's nice. It's nice and grilled on both sides. The cheese is melted. So you have to have small pieces of bread, or, you know, cut it to size. And then always unplug it. Like I said, be careful. It's very hot. So there's my cheese sandwich, and I may eat 2 of these, I'm not sure. Depends on if I'm still hungry. And I'll be back in a minute when I get my plate done. Okay, so there is my breakfast, day 14. And I like to peel my apples. I know lots of nutrients in the peels, but I save this for my worms, and my dogs love the apple peel, so they get that as a treat. So there we have it. Breakfast is served. Okay, dinner, day 14. Let's see what we can find. Look at that, some free space. All right, so for dinner, I'm going to have these chicken tenders. I have a little tiny bit of mushroom gravy left. And I'm going to make this creamed spinach. It's not creamed yet. I have to do that. And so that'll be that, but I can't eat all this, so I'm sure that'll be enough for 2 meals. And in here I have some homemade chip dip. I'm going to use some of that. And then, so I'm going to have those. Let's get those out. Wow, look at that, some free space. Awesome. And I didn't waste that food. So that'll be that, and I need some butter. That's out already, and I have some almond milk. And then let's go over here to this, and I have some potatoes that are starting to not be happy. So I'm going to have, it's already growing new stuff, but that's okay. You can still eat them, or if it's springtime, you can plant them. So I'm going to cook these 2 potatoes. Oops. All right, so I'll meet you over at the stove. So here's what I managed to salvage from my big tub of lettuces. Some of it was getting kind of wilted. That'll be going to the worms, but I'm glad that tub of lettuce will be done. But that was for Christmas Eve, so I wouldn't normally buy a tub that big for myself. So let's get cooking on the creamed spinach. All right, the 2 potatoes all scrubbed up. I'm going to cook those in the microwave. And those will go in for, oh, about 5 minutes, and then I'll see if they're done. Warmed up coffee here. All right. So we'll give those 5 minutes. And then, now I had cooked these in the air fryer a couple days ago. So that will be my protein. And I'm just going to heat these up in the microwave too. But, and this is enough gravy for that, but I want to add a little bit of this sour cream mixture to it. And then I'm also going to put this on my baked potatoes. So I made that the other day. That was like for a dip for carrots and things. So I'm just going to put a little bit. It'll be like a little sour cream mushroom gravy. So just a tablespoonful. And then I'm going to put this in. And this is from the gravy that I made the other day from those cubes, the Boo or the Buy or whatever it was. That was in another video from one of the other days. So I'm going to heat this up in the microwave as well. And then I'm going to just cook up my creamed spinach here. So I'm going to put that aside. And then I will cook up my creamed spinach. Now this still has some spinach liquid in it. I'm leaving that in. I don't want it totally dry. And then I'm going to make a roux and put in some seasonings and have that with the potatoes and the chicken, not chicken, and the gravy. So I'll be back once I get my pan out. Alright, so I have about a tablespoon of Follow Your Heart in here. Use butter, use margarine, whatever it is you use. And my seasonings are going to be some onion powder, some nutmeg. If you don't like nutmeg, you can leave it out. And some garlic salt. This spinach is just thawed, frozen spinach. It doesn't have any seasonings in it. And I'm also going to be adding some pepper. It's very simple, but you can put any seasoning in here you want. So I'm just going to, I also have about a tablespoon or so of cornstarch, and I may need more. It depends on how much I'm going to thicken this, and how much almond milk I put in. But use whatever milk you want, whole milk, skim milk, plant milk. It works with everything. So this is what I have left, and I'm going to put liquid and all into my pan here and get this heated up. So, and this is really yummy with potatoes, especially boiled potatoes or fried potatoes, but I'm not going to fry it. And it tastes really good with fried eggs too. So I'm going to let this heat up. And in the meantime, I'm going to put some seasonings on here. So I'm going to put some pepper on. And this is all from my freezer. I had it in the freezer for a long time, and I've been trying to cook this down. It was a family-size bag, which was pretty big for me. So, and then I'm going to put in, about half a teaspoon half a teaspoon of garlic salt. Darn ant. I still can't get rid of those ants. And, oh, I'll put in, let's see, get a little spoon here. Normally I don't measure, so this is a half a teaspoon. So I'm going to put in a quarter of a teaspoon of nutmeg, maybe not quite that much. Alright, so that's it, and then the garlic salt. I'm trying to use up some of my spices too, because I have a lot of spices. Alright, and then what I'm going to do is just stir that in. Yeah, these ants are a problem. I think I'm going to have to go outside when it's not raining and it's not snowing and just spray the exterior of my foundation. I don't like to spray much chemicals, but this is getting really annoying. And the ant traps aren't working. I have the taro, I have some other ones, and they just walk over them. They don't care. So maybe they're smarter than I am. I don't know. Alright, so I'm going to let that heat up for a minute. And in the meantime, I'm going to add some of this almond milk to the cornstarch. And this is kind of all. I don't have a recipe for you, but I want this to be kind of a creamed spinach, so I need to put enough milk, but I want it to have a thicker sauce, so I may need to add a little bit more cornstarch. I have to see how well this thickens up first. So this is about, I don't know, half a cup, I would say. So let's see if this is enough. And there's still a little bit of cornstarch in there, so put just a little more milk. And with cornstarch, you want to dissolve that in some liquid. You can also do this with a roux if you prefer to use flour. Either way, it works. So I'm going to let this cook up a minute and see if I need to add a little bit more cornstarch. So I'll let that cook a little bit and I'll be back. Alright, so I'm going to add another tablespoon of cornstarch. You don't need a whole lot of liquid, just enough to dissolve it, so it's maybe another tablespoon or so of almond milk, but I like my creamed spinach a little thicker. Another thing, if you like the flavor of it, you can add some Parmesan cheese to this. That's real tasty, but for now I'm just going to do this. Now if you're making a roux instead of using cornstarch, you can use flour and butter and cook it until it browns a little bit, and then slowly add your milk. So yeah, this is better. This is better consistency. So I'm going to let this cook another minute. It'll thicken up a little more. So that's all there is to creamed spinach. This is the way I make it. I'm going to taste this, see if it needs more salt. No, it's good. And it's good with the with potatoes or whatever. So I'm going to plate up my dinner and then I'll be back. Okay, so here is my dinner. I cut up the baked potato, put a little salt on it, put the gravy on there that I had left over, my creamed spinach, and I have plenty left for at least 2 more meals, so I may end up eating this again tomorrow and freezing half. There we go again in the freezer, but it's better than wasting it. I have the other baked potato for another meal, maybe breakfast tomorrow. And then I did end up adding some of this grated topping to the creamed spinach. And I got this at Dollar Tree for $1. And it's with Parmesan, but you can put this on your veggies and it's tasty. So I put that on there. And you can also make this with a heavy cream if you want a richer dish. You can add, you can saute onions before you do the spinach. You can saute onions in the butter. You can do different things. You can add bacon, or if you're plant-based, the bacon bits that are plant-based. So there's a lot you can do with this creamed spinach. So, but I like it just like this. And there is dinner, day 14. I had to go out the other day to get a birthday gift for my granddaughter. She's 7 years old now. So I went to Mark's. They have a lot of toys there. And I wanted to get something for her that she could use as an activity, art type things that her parents wouldn't have to have hanging around their house forever, that she could use up. And then, you know, they could hang up the pictures or whatever they wanted to do with it. So I got her a little stuffed dog that reminded me of my dog Allie, who passed away 5 years ago maybe. So she really loved that, and I got her a couple of other things, but you're probably wondering why I'm showing you these. But anyway, while I was in the toy section, I found these, and I love apothecary drawers. So I found these little wooden boxes, and what I want to do with them, this is for me, and they were $5.99 a piece. They come with paint, but I don't need that. It's supposed to be a jewelry box, but what I want to do, I'm going to glue these together and make a little unit out of it, and then I'm going to stain it or maybe chalk paint it. And so, you know, for $24, I have a really nice little apothecary unit, and I've priced these on Amazon, and they're quite expensive. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you, making do with things that you like, and maybe making something similar or buying it used if you find it. So I just want to share that with you, and eventually when I get to making this, I'll share that and show you how it turned out. Well, happy Tea Tuesday again. This is getting more and more like Groundhog Day. I'm having Coffee Tuesday today, so cheers. And I've been thinking a lot about the new year coming up and how I want it to be the same as last year or different than, or this year, how I want next year to be the same or different from this year. Well, all in all, I'm pretty satisfied and happy with my life. I mean, we all have things that we have to do that don't fit into the plan, but you just do it one step in front of the other. And sometimes you have to choose to be happy, or you have to choose your mood and not let your moods rule you. So, in other words, you control your moods and not your moods control you. And sometimes all it takes is just a different a different setting, like maybe going out with a friend and not dwelling on your problems, but dwelling on the blessings in your life, or listening to their blessings. And, sometimes they have problems. And sometimes it makes you realize that you're not alone in the world and you're not the only one that has issues and problems. We all have those. Or sometimes all it takes is, getting lost in a good book, or putting on some upbeat music rather than replaying the lost love list that I'm sure we all have, and just not dwelling on those things. And a lot of times when I'm having issues, or something that could cause me to go in a downward swirl mood, I just say, I tell my brain to stop. If I'm focusing on negative things that I don't want to focus on, and when I realize I'm doing it, I just tell myself, just stop. And it may take a few times that I have to do that, but that works for me. But anyway, I wanted to talk too about, and I showed you a couple things that, I was making do with rather than going out and spending money on more things, because that is one thing that I want to work on. I want to continue working on this year, is getting rid of things that I know I'm not going to want or need. I either don't like them anymore, or maybe it's a project that I thought, or a hobby that I thought I might really like, that I don't like once I got into it. Things like that I want to get rid of and just have some space in my home. But I'm not going to get into the minimalist movement. That's not for me. But I don't want to be a maximalist either. My mouth isn't working. Because that's not working for me anymore either. So I want a middle of the road. I want my home to be easy to clean, and I want to keep it neat and tidy so everything has its place. And that's what I've actually been working on for 3 or 4 years now. And in my home, I've had a lot of people move in and out of my home. My daughter and her fiance and my oldest grandson lived with me for a while, back when I first built this house, and then they went off on their own. I lived here alone for a couple years after that. Then I met Tom, and he and his girls lived here for, I think it was 5, 6 years. I don't know. His girls went to college, but he lived here. So I had to make room for him. And then when he moved out and took all his things, then a little while after that, my daughter and her husband bought a fixer-upper house that they've been working on for a couple years now. So my oldest grandson lives with me now, and it may be temporary. I'm sure sometime he'll move out on his own, or he may decide to go with his mom when their house is done. I don't know, but anyway, my whole point is I've had to make room for different people that have lived with me over the years. So, and I have no plans on on having a roommate or a boyfriend or anything like that live with me again. So now I just want to make my home. My grandson has the whole basement. I have like a little, it's almost like a little apartment down there. It's got a bath and kitchen, little kitchenette, you know. So he's happy as a clam down there. But the rest of the house, pretty much, I can make it the way I want it. Now there's a chance that my mom at some point may need to live here, and I have enough bedrooms where I can give her a bedroom. And so, yeah, I've had a lot of in and out people here in my home, and I love it. It doesn't, you know, that's great. So, but I have to make adjustments with my belongings as to what I really feel is important. So, this past Christmas, I did my attic. I got rid of a lot of Christmas things that I don't want to use anymore. I don't decorate like I used to. I still like to decorate, but not like I used to before. So anyway, that's part of my plan. I don't make New Year's resolutions at all, but I do make plans for, and it doesn't really matter if it's continuing from this year to next year or if, you know, it's not a definitive timeline, but I make general plans as to what I want to continue to do in the upcoming year. So making do will be a big part of that. Repurposing, reinventing things, not buying a whole lot of things. Um, that's all on my list. As you know, using up some of my food. And like I said, I will continue to um, keep a food supply in case something happens. You never know. The weather may turn terrible and I can't get out. And I want to make sure that I have enough for me and my grandson at the moment to sustain us until times are better. So that is some of the plan for 2022. It'll be a continuation of 2021. And and then I also wanted to talk a little bit about YouTube because I've been doing YouTube for a couple years now and I really enjoy doing it. I don't do it for the money. The first year that I did it, I did make a little bit of money. I think I made $600 in the whole year. Not this year, last year. And then YouTube changed whatever it is they change, who knows. And I have not made 1 penny on YouTube this year, not 1 cent. And they changed the algorithms or whatever. They changed the view time and the hour. I don't know. I don't get into all that analytical stuff. That doesn't interest me. I don't find that fun. So I just make videos. You know, I like to share my thoughts with people, maybe help out, give some people some ideas, get ideas from you guys when you leave me comments. I love that. I read every single one of them. I may not always answer every one of them, but I do read them and we get a lot of good ideas from each other. But I do plan on continuing YouTube. You know, YouTube suggests, well, you got to post at this time, be regular with your posting and all that stuff. I can't do that. My life is busy and it doesn't revolve around what time I can post a video. So sometimes I'll post during the day, sometimes I'll post at night, and I'm probably shooting myself in the foot by doing that. But I don't look at this as a job. I just look at it as a hobby. It's a hobby that I have that I enjoy doing. And if I would get into it too much in as far as getting anxious about, oh, I lost a subscriber or, you know, whatever, it wouldn't be fun anymore. So if you're thinking about going into YouTube, I mean, unless you're a big time gamer or, you get 1 million subscribers, you're not going to make a whole lot of money, which for me is okay. It's all right. Like I said, it's a hobby that I enjoy doing. So I want to continue to do YouTube. I want to continue to do this challenge for as long as I can. Um, or I may get bored with it and just say I'm not doing a video about it anymore, but I'm still going to continue to try and cook down my freezer and my refrigerator and some of my pantry too, but I will continue to keep it stocked. So those are some of the plans that I have. Um, what are some of the plans that you have for upcoming 2022? Hopefully everybody's healthy. Um, I did get rid of my dish, which I haven't missed it for 2 seconds. Um, I did get Showtime and HBO Max, and I'm really enjoying them. Um, if anybody has watched Dexter, Dexter was a series about 10 years ago. It was with Michael C. Hall, and the series played itself out. But now he has a new Dexter. I think it's New Blood, it's called. And if you like murder mysteries and things like that, which I really do, you might like it. I'm really liking it a lot. So it's Dexter New Blood, and that's actually on Showtime. So, um, but yeah, I'm really enjoying. I like to binge watch series. Uh, just one after the other. So I enjoy that, and I really like not having all. I don't like reality shows, which is a big part of cable and satellite. I don't like those. So, and then of course you've got the never-ending commercials, which I can't stand, and you've got the never-ending infomercials, which of course I'm trying not to buy things, so I don't want to watch infomercials. I don't want to order from QVC or, whatever. So anyway, I'm really enjoying not having satellite or cable. I just have the internet TV. I have Netflix and I have Prime, so I have plenty of things to watch, and I don't even care if the cost is equal to what I would pay for um, the dish or the cable. I mean, it would be nice to save some cost, but um, at least I can pick what I want to watch and not what they're saying that you should watch. So anyway, that is pretty much my plan. I want to get some bills paid off, and then when that happens, then like I said in the previous video, I'm going to need some windows and my roof repaired, and I'm going to continue paying my car off. I didn't pay a ton of money for my car. It was actually, I don't know what you call it. It had been in a wreck, and it was fixed up. And new, I bought it. I bought it in 2020, and it was a 2019 car. It's a Buick Cascada, and it's a convertible, and I really like it. It's a very sporty car. But I ended up paying 18,000 out the door, and if the car had been on a lot, it would have cost probably, I know new it was like 30 some thousand dollars. Well, I'm not going to pay that for a car. Not ever. I've never have, and I never will. So, but I plan on keeping this car for a long time, and it had low mileage. So I've been paying for that now for a couple years, and I will pay it off early if I can, and if I can't, well, then I can't. So, but I plan on keeping this car for a long time. And hopefully it'll cooperate, because I had my Sebring for 14 years and my son is still driving it. So, you know, it can be done. You don't have to go out and buy a brand new car if you can't afford it. So, but this was a car I could afford, but it does make money tight. So I do want to get it paid off. So I'm going to be working on my finances. And for me, the best way to do that is to work with what I already have, whether it's food or things in my home. If I can redecorate with what I have, I certainly don't need any more decor or tchotchkes or anything like that. If I see something in a store that I like and I do buy it, then I'm going to have to say, and I do this all the time now, where can I put this? Is there a spot for this? If the answer is no, then I don't buy it. Or can I get rid of something? If I really like something, can I get rid of something else and put it there? Or do I have something similar that I can spray paint or make it look like this thing that I want to buy? So, and I've been putting a lot of things back out of the cart by doing that. All right, well, that's all I have for you today. It's Tea Tuesday. Enjoy your tea, do a little relaxing, call a friend, go out to lunch. You know, lunch doesn't have to be expensive. It's way cheaper than dinner. And enjoy your life. All right, my friends, that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. Thanks for watching.